everybody. Hopefully, you you can hear us. Please let us know if you can't, because it wouldn't be a stream if there were not technical difficulties, obviously. Thank you for joining us. Yay! Let me know as everybody starts to speak when Jason calls on them about volume comparisons so I can mess with it. Welcome to the stream. We are going to hopefully get all the technical things out of the way rapidly and then play this game. Jason, say things.
Hi, Anna. My name is Jason. I was the storyteller for last year's triptych, Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, and we're going to pick that up sometime next year, perhaps. But for this time, we've decided to come together and play a different game, one with a different tone, a game called Under Hollow Hills by Vincent and McGay Baker. Under Hollow Hills is the story of a traveling fairy circus that goes from place to place in this world and in others, uh, solving problems, causing others, and leave a little magic where they go. Um, if you'd like to get a copy of Under Hollow Hills, we're going to be sharing a link to a bundle that's on drivethroughrpg.com where you can buy it and several other games and help raise money for McGay Baker's cancer treatments. So if you've got an interest in what you see, take a look. It's fun. Um, Under Hollow Hills is a game powered by the Apocalypse, and you may have heard that one before. Games like Masks and Urban Shadows and Dungeon World and the eponymous Apocalypse World. These games are story focused, fiction forward. You'll see how we play it as we play. But when we say we are making a play, that's a move. And when we make a move, that means the game cares about what we do. So, with little further ado, I'd like to have our cast and crew introduce themselves. Um, let's start furthest from me with um, Sammy.
Hi, I'm primarily known as Spirit Chrysalis here. I am
Yeah.
known as she, her, they, them, or Fae Fair, and I am playing Rose Cheek, the stick figure.
Thank you, thank you. And moving next to
Stream is offline.
I think just for that person.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
Apologies.
gotcha. Hedgie, you want to take the second one?
Sure. Hi. I am Hedgie Cleric here on Twitch. I'm primarily a fiber arts and crafting streamer, but I'm also a giant flippin' nerd. And today I will be playing Emerald Ash, the Feather Cloak.
Chili, you next.
Hi, I'm Jillico, also Jillian. My pronouns are she, her, and tonight I will be playing the Nightmare Horse. Now, usually the Nightmare Horse is their own appellation, however, if you need to address me by a familiar name, you can call me Aldebaran.
And lastly, Anna, why don't you bring us home?
Sure. My name is Anna. I stream as Power Vulcan, and today I will be playing Willowwind, who is the Winding Rose. And just a quick check to Miss Mad Duck. How was everybody's volume kind of compared to each other? Are you comparing to background noise? Okay, let me up everybody's volume a little bit. Welcome to the world of technical difficulties.
The main thing I'm hearing on my end is type. Although I think it's primarily, and this is fine, Tapau's typing.
I am not currently typing.
No, you aren't now. It was when you were going through
Well, yeah. Once I'm like no longer doing stuff, it should be a little bit better.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, hopefully we will be okay in terms of sound mixing. Let me know if it gets weird. Okay. We're back to hopefully all good. Sorry, Jason. I've mucked with
Nope.
volumes.
I mean, this is the nature of the games and the platform. We thank you for your patience. All right. There is a traveling circus under the hollow hills. It travels the night world and the day world, fairyland and the mortar world, and no border stays it. You have emerged from the middle place. There's a winding road that leads from uh, this world, the one that you and I live in, and the world of the Fae. Um, you have returned from your last performance, and you're heading to your next one. Um, what was your last performance? Who were you performing for?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Go for it.
It's summer, right?
It was an anniversary party
Ooh.
Hmm.
out in the wilds of the Midwest. There was a couple who have lived together in peace and love and happiness for 50 glorious years. And um, out on their very rural, very secluded farm stand, we set up our tent and we managed to bring the matriarch and patriarch of that family much joy and and excitement for their 50th wedding anniversary.
That's sweet. And how were they different when you left?
I think they had an even better appreciation for each other and what they have together after we left. Uh, 50
We may have
years can.
wished them
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
we may have wished them 50 more years of happiness, and may have noticed a little bit of extra spring in their step as they said farewell.
I like it. A kind gift from the traveling circus.
Of course.
For we are kind folk, are we not? In any case, since you left the mortal world, it's nice to alternate. So this time, you guys emerge in a thick, dark wood. You are uh, scheduled to perform at a seasonal gift giving ceremony run by uh, a a fairy mayor who goes by the name of Scintilla Globesome. It is a festival of giving gifts, receiving gifts, sometimes gossip along the way, and at the end of it, everyone involved gets a little something, a gift from the host. Now, as you journey into the wood, I ask you, are you giving your performance as a gift, or is someone giving your performance as a gift?
It is nice to be compensated for your artistic efforts. However, uh, if Scintilla if Scintilla desires us to if Scintilla desires us to participate in the gift giving, I am the gift. It may not hold true for everybody, but usually I am a
The
gift.
nightmare horse is a prize.
Scintilla, does he have a preference
I
on
suppose you'll find
gifts
out when
from
you
her?
meet him.
Oh. Aldebaran, what do you think that I should do?
Mm. how are you with crafts?
My interpretation of other people is usually my craft, but I could try.
How about divine the future for them?
Would that be my gift, or would that be something you gave them from me?
I'm I shouldn't give other people's gifts for them. It's déclassé.
All right, then I will give that.
You should present your gift with pride and joy and be proud in the giving.
I will help people understand each other better. That will be my gift.
Wonderful.
Your wagons make their way down the winding path until finally you alight at a small clearing with a little village. Um, Little stone buildings underneath a bower of trees with lights strung up, tiny little flickering lights hung in the bower overhead. And as you look more closely, you can see that they are suspended from a fine netting of spiderweb. Um, the wagons pull in, making the clattering noises, the sound of hoofbeats, wagon wheels turning on the loam. Um, there is uh, a lanky, stooped fellow uh, standing there, hands behind his back, watching as you approach. Behind him, you can see a number of diligent and virtuous common folk uh, clearing spaces, uh, setting out tables, making preparation for the festival and for you. Who is first to leave their wagon? And tell me about that wagon, if it is something that you know.
I'm a curious sort. I will leave the wagon first, though
Mhm.
it is not my wagon. Um,
Whose wagon is it?
well, you had mentioned that it is the wagon of Mommy Sorrel, who I do not
Yes,
know very much about, but I'm hoping you can tell me what that wagon looks like.
sure. Mommy Sorrel's wagon is it's how to describe it. It's fairly spacious, pulled by what looks like an enormous beetle. It is red, stained with um, what looks like the juice of a dark berry, some sort of like wood stain. The side folds down to become a makeshift platform. It can be used as both a stage or as a sort of vendor shop. Mommy Sorrel is um, roundish, uh, tends to have uh, is freckled, has hair that is wild as yours, but a slightly different color, more purple than blue or green. Mommy Sorrel's act is a musical act. She sings soulful songs, or sometimes she'll do um, recitations, poetry, and she lets you stay with her because once you were in the right place at the right time, and she owes you for that.
Excellent.
Now you leave the wagon. Tell us what we see.
Well, I am on the shorter side, um, teal with blue and purple undertones hair. There are flowers in my hair. It's hard to say if they're growing there or if they're added after the fact. Probably growing there, really. Um, Willowwind looks like what modern television thinks '60s hippies look like. Um, like flowing peasant shirt and the broomstick skirts that obviously everybody bought at the same store. Some beads, that sort of thing. Very sort of a lot of fabric that responds to any breeze by moving. And she is barefoot, and um, you can fairly certainly tell that she is at least partially a plant. Um, there are not just the coloration or the flowers, but as she walks, it's as if she is walking on grass that may not necessarily be actually there. It's just sort of built into her step, and she's got kind of a youthful beauty thing going.
And so you land your bare feet on the loam, on the thick grass that sort of springs up beneath it. Um, the stooped gentleman moves forward and says, "You must be the players."
Yes, I'm sure more will be coming out momentarily. How are you today?
Much the same, much the same.
I see. Well, it is a good day for all sorts of things, I'm sure.
Yes, I expect there will be much merriment. Can I help you with your things?
Oh no, I'm all good, but thank you for the kind offer.
All right. Who emerges next?
I can go.
Ah,
From a small, tidy wagon festooned with ivy, pulled by a gentle mare and a little foal who has been trotting alongside even though the wagon is stopped. It seems the little foal simply cannot stop moving. He's just excited to be there. But out from that comes a womanish creature in a feathered cloak, wearing a lot of different shades of green, but with rosy cheeks and little feathers that pop out here and there that are not part of the cloak. She moves to pet both the mare and the foal, who actually sits still for once. She offers them a couple of little snacks before she goes and joins Willowwind.
as you move, you can see, as you're kneeling down to feed the foal, you can see um, a few smallish folk. If you saw them in the mortal world, you'd call them children, but these might just be pixie kind or some other sort of small, delightful, or perhaps prankish creatures working their way around the legs. One of them is poking at the other and wants to is tentatively ready to, she's eyeing your cloak, but you're not really sure what she's going to do next.
Turns around, swishes it with just a little bit of dramatic flair, and says, "Hello there. How can I help you?"
Um, um, uh, your cloak is real pretty.
"Well, thank you."
Can I have it?
"Absolutely not."
They look the like. There's a certain measure of. Pardon me. There's a certain measure of. They didn't think it would work, but they had to try anyway.
She nods. She's like, game
Yeah.
respects game.
Yeah.
If you don't
It's
ask,
true.
you don't get.
It's true. As the wagons pull up, you get more and more onlookers. You can see a clutch of people dressed in slightly nicer outfits. You can see there's more embroidery, more adornment. They are standing and talking and making sort of curious gestures. You can see um, what looks like a person with long hair combing it, sitting off to the side of one of the stone buildings. Um, and although you cannot see their eyes, you have the sensation of being watched. More people begin to filter out and see what's come to town. Who is next? Actually, do you wish to approach the stooped man, or do you have or I do not I don't wish to tell you how you should play it.
I think I will hang back for now, as it seems Willowwind has it well in hand, and it gives the opportunity for the rest of my companions to venture outward.
Okay. Who comes out next?
I would like to go last.
It seems appropriate. Um, Rosecheek, are you able to go next?
Sure, I can come out with the Lady Rosemary. I was mostly waiting for her to be done.
Mm-hmm. Rosemary. Rosemary is one of the troop's acrobats and dancers. She moves with uncanny grace and has the joints of a contortionist. She folds herself, she flips, she spins, she pirouettes, and she is happy to have um, Rose Cheek as a guest or a traveling companion in her wagon. Rose Cheek is both um, is often found useful as part of her act, and is often someone she likes to have around. Tell us about Rose Cheek.
Rose Cheek is an adult femme presenting doll, essentially. They are made of different materials, whether it be porcelain, in some places cloth, or something harder and less familiar. They tend to be festooned, at least at this time of year, and in this demeanor, in a pretty dress and ribbons, and they are very brightly colored in garish tempera paint primaries, and overall present themselves as a warm and companionable person to speak with.
And when Rose Cheek unfolds herself and leaves the wagon, where does she head?
She heads down the rollout stairs to the wagon, the knees of her doll bouncing a little bit more than an average person would be when they walk,
Mhm.
almost a bit like backwards bending knees, though her bend normally. And she simply looks around at all of the fantastic people who are here, all of the beings. They do notice the older stooped gentleman, but everyone looks so interesting to them. Is there anyone that seems to notice them in particular?
Um, let's see. You you cast your eyes across the crowd, and there is a one who does catch your eye. He looks dashing. You can see that his hair blows with a wind that's not there for anybody else. He is breeze kind, perhaps? Some kind of wind folk. He does not have feathers like Emerald Ash, but he does walk with a sprightliness that belies his solidity. He floats a bit when he walks. And when you move through the crowd, he notices.
Rose Cheek
And
comes up a few. Oh, my
yep,
apologies.
no, please. No, no, go ahead, please.
Rose Cheek comes up a few steps, bows a little bit in a way that is just a touch further than perhaps a person might to the older stooped gentleman. And as they come back up, notice the wind affiliated being and kind of blink their glass eyes slowly at him and form a smile.
Huh. He looks at you. Wait, something happened? Sorry.
No. No, I think everything's good.
Sorry, my official my major domo, the digital assistant, has decided to chime in. In any case, he looks at you. Um, he starts as if he's going to speak, and then he puts his finger to his lips, and someone is typing loudly.
Sorry.
Um, it's okay. Um, he looks at you. He puts his fingers to his lips, and he points up at the sky, or at least to the place where the sky would be, underneath the canopy of trees, and he says, "Later." And he moves his way through the crowd, and in a moment, he's lost in it. And lastly, our erstwhile the pole star of the
Long before you see them, you hear them. Little twinkling bells in syncopated rhythm. Ching, ching, ding, ding, ching, 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 ching. Pulling a, not a giant, but a rather large wagon that is all colors of deep, dark wood, from mahogany to teak, cocobolo, inlaid with purple heart stars that grace the side of the wagon, all shining with silver fittings and silver fittings and hardware. Come two completely matched twin gelding horses. They are midnight solid black, except for stars on their foreheads. And they wear all sorts of um, silver bridles, silver tacks, silver bindings that attach them to this glorious wagon. And as it sort of smoothly rolls into its place, the geldings stop almost as one and prick up their ears as if hearing something interesting. The door at the side of the wagon, facing the crowd, of course, opens with a grand flourish, and out steps me. I am tall, not obnoxiously so, but I um, of medium tall height, with long, unruly black hair. My face is pale, even paler still.
Anna, Jilly has been muted.
Headphones.
Ah.
Yeah, unfortunately, our nightmare horse had an unfortunate incident of headphones going out. She'll be back.
See, I'm foolish. I did not bring my water with me. I will have to get some during the break. I owe you. I owe you all a beverage. I owe you all a drink. That's my. I am duly chastised. Thank you. Thank you.
Am I back?
You are.
Yes.
Am I? You can hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
you, but you're about a second or two on delay. Okay. All right.
How about now?
Still delayed, but we can hear you.
Yes, sorry, I was still muted. I was telling people I was muted. Um,
Okay.
There you are.
All
Awesome.
right. I had to switch to mute
Fantastic.
headphones,
Okay.
which are full power. All right. Of
All right.
course,
So,
as you
Yay.
can see, it's dramatic.
understood. Pale skin, flashing eyes,
Pale
floating
skin,
black hair.
flashing eyes,
Lump,
floating black hair, and a robe of sable black gossamer fabric inlaid with all sorts of stars, suns, moons, and with two light steps, tap, tap, her bare feet alight on the grass, and she surveys all in front of her, throws up her arm, and gives a deep and grandiose bow. We have
um,
arrived.
there are people who spontaneously applaud. I mean, it's not even like they have. It's they. It's some of them are not even like consciously aware that they're doing it. It's just upon the arrival of the nightmare horse, they just begin to applaud. Um, and so you have arrived, um, all of you, and those people who are part of the show but aren't played by our lovely cast and crew here. You can see people pulling their wagons in and beginning to set things up. Um, you are now here in this village. Um, the stooped man comes over and says, "It looks like it's going to be a good festival. We are pleased that you are able to make it and perform for us. How can I make your stay here better?"
Thank you for extending us your gracious hospitality. Point us to where we may Point us to where we may pitch our tents, lodge our wagons, and prepare to wow you.
We have trod out a large circle where you may assemble your entourage and prepare. We will offer you what comforts we can, but we anticipate that you will be most necessary during the last part of the festival. Please, make yourselves at home.
Jason, do we know who this man is or his name? Have we interacted with him before?
Nope, you are meeting him for the first time. You can ask him questions and find out more about this place. Certainly, that would be good for putting on an entertaining and affecting show.
Um, because I super don't know the system, that seems
Mhm.
like the sort of time one does a size them up kind of thing.
Absolutely, it would be. So let's talk about how that works.
Yeah.
In this game, um, there are many different ways to play Powered by the Apocalypse, but most of them involve taking an action that's applied to the fiction, and those are called moves, or in this game, plays. And to make a play, there are plays that everyone can do, and there are plays that only some people can do, and there's plays that I can do. And when you make a play, you roll 2d6. We have our fine dice roller from dddice.com, and you'll add a certain modifier to it. In some games, there are defined statistics, but that's not how this game works. In this game, people decide what they want to be good at and put numbers behind it. So, the play that Willowwind is working on is called Sizing Someone Up. Um, and when you do, you ask them questions that they must answer honestly. These are things that you understand about them just from looking. They don't have to answer it physically. This is just what you understand by perceiving them. So, uh, roll for me 2d6 and add. Now,
I have a plus
before we came here,
two, right?
before we came here tonight, yep. So,
Let's roll. So I rolled a 6 plus 2 is 8.
6 plus 2 is 8 and 2 more is 10. Yeah, or is that
No, no, no. No,
did
no.
you roll?
That would be my plus 2. It's total 8.
Gotcha. No problem. You rolled an 8. Generally speaking, in games of this kind, 10 or better is all you want. 7 through 9 is some of what you want, and 6 or less is I get to do something. So, in this case, with an 8, you get to ask 2 questions from the appropriate list. Actually, my apologies, 1 question from the appropriate list.
Yeah, I think
Um,
2 would be if I
the
rolled
que-
the 10, right?
yep.
Okay.
So the questions that you may choose from are: what do you intend to do? How far are you prepared to go? Where are you confident and where are you uncertain? And a big question: what do you hope will happen? What do you fear? And how prepared are you for each? This is you giving a quick, subtle scrutinize.
Is that
What would you like to know,
last
Willowwind?
thing one question? Or
It
was that
is. That
3
is
questions?
one. That is one big question. It's the what are your hopes and fears? That is a question you get to ask, or one of the others.
I. I okay, hang on a sec. I am trying to. There we go. It's an obvious play, right? I'm trying to pull up
It's an obvious
the
play in the sense that, yeah, it's an obvious play in the sense that anyone can make it.
right. I'm
Um,
just pulling up the correct part of the um,
Absolutely. Do you want a page number?
uh, well, so I found that it's on page like 91, I think, but what I actually want
Yep.
is
Yes.
the thing that was all the way at the end, which was just like a summary of all of them, so that I can
Ah,
have them up, but I am struggling to find that page.
those
Do you know the
are.
page I'm talking about? It was like
I do. It's near the back.
it was like not that
It's
one.
one of the. Let's see here.
Um, oh, I found it. You know what? I found it in the playbooks and printouts. 'Cause
That's good.
I think that's the one I want. Just because then I can look at the questions kind of all
Gotcha.
listed out in
Is
front
is
of me.
Sammy is Spirit Chrysalis okay? Their video
Oh,
is off.
that is
That was one moment
They
in the
said one
chat.
moment.
Ah, cool.
um. Okay, so I think I want to do the what do you hope will happen, what do you fear, and how prepared are you for each?
Okay. Um, what he hopes will happen. Um, he hopes that someone will give him a gift that will make him finally happy. What he fears will happen is that his, let's say, his his lords, his ladies, the people who tell him what to do, he fears that he will be given as a gift to someone else
Mm.
in service. He is prepared he is prepared for the worst. He would be surprised by the best.
Okay.
And you can see that just by looking at him.
Okay. Um, uh, does he generally seem to be the sort of person that's amenable to what amounts to small talk?
Sure. I mean, he seems ready to converse.
Okay.
It's just, um, he's there. It is his role to greet you.
Right.
He is here to see you approach and watch as you make yourselves ready. Um,
He seems to be sort of like the person in charge as major domo or whatever, trying to get
Something like
things
that.
set up. As we are setting everything up, I will make sure to, kind of in passing, kind of ask him. By the way, what should we call you? I don't think we've met.
You may call me Nick.
Great. That's good to know, Nick. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of "Hey you," and that's never good. So, thanks for that.
I have answered to Hey You before.
Well, who hasn't really? But I find that it is much easier when there aren't, 100 hey yous, and that way everybody knows who's being spoken to. But is there anything in particular that, uh, kind of out of the ordinary that we should be aware of for this particular occasion that you can share?
The festival involves giving gifts. If you if you choose not to participate, it's fine, but people will look at you funny afterward. The the great spider Scintilla globsum hangs out in the bowers, tends to listen to things. It would be wrong to call it eavesdropping.
Of
Go
course.
Eves.
If you are stuck for an idea, sweets are always welcome. We don't get many, and we tend to prize them. We are we are humble folk, except for those of us who aren't.
Of course. Thank you for that.
Watch out. Watch out for Carrie. Carrie's the one with the comb.
What for? I may forgive me for interrupting. What? Why should we look out for this individual?
Is the comb bad?
The comb's not bad. And neither is Carrie, really. She just takes what she wants.
Rose Cheek literally looks at Aldebaran and slightly shrugs at that notion, but not in a sort of like callous way.
Jason,
Many
is
of us
the
do.
person who was watching us still sitting there combing their hair and watching us?
Um, they are, you know, it's tricky. The crowd makes it hard to pick them out,
Hmm.
but you don't have the same sense of being watched presently.
Okay. Noted.
Can you tell us, can you tell me what we should look forward to?
A grand spectacle. There will be music, there will be magic, dancing, recitations, feats of acrobatic excellence, humor, wit, majesty, and me.
And you?
And me.
Aldebaran is a sensation unto themselves.
I have heard stories. I will see.
Yes, you will.
I am actually the provisioner for our particular caravan, so I may have some questions for you later if you are amenable.
I will serve. We have stores, but they are more hearty than delectable. You should tell us what provisions you will want, and we will do our best to bring them.
I will keep that in mind. We usually have a fair bit available to us. I'll need to go through the inventory to see if there's anything that we need that you have on hand. At the same time, come see me for a cup of tea later.
Tea. Who doesn't like tea? If you'll pardon, gentles, I must go. And he lopes off with his, legs and arms, moving in, not quite like a marionette, but definitely in that sort of like long loping limbs kind of thing.
The
Rose Cheek
description.
tries to do.
Oh,
Oh,
I was gonna say the description makes me think of those running things in Dark Crystal.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, no.
Ooh.
Rose Cheek tries to do an ornate bow with a flourish similar to what Aldebaran did, and it is definitely not as solid as that. But it's improving slowly over
I
time.
see. I see.
You're getting
Are
there.
She
you?
didn't fall down this time.
That's
Nope.
true.
Absolutely not.
I didn't
Um.
sublux completely apart. It's fine.
Wow.
Understood. Um. Are you? Are you making a? You are not making a play. You're not expressing yourself in antics. You are simply moving.
Oh no, not necessarily. I'm just trying something out.
Nope, no problem. It's the you make it for a dramatic flourish, and those people with ears to hear it can hear the kind of ticking of the joints and sort of the shifting of your body, the sort of the slight sound it makes as you move, and it looks very much like a bow.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Thank you.
Wait on the back foot.
Oh,
If you carry your weight on the back foot, then you'll have a less chance of falling over.
All right. Thank you.
Um,
Circle up.
Circle
We
up.
have we have a place to get to and things to do there. Chop chop.
All right. So, what is it you're hoping they'll do?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that the wagons will head out to the circle that has been prepared for us and array ourselves, if not neatly, glamorously.
All right.
and
Um.
Jason, as I am ticket taker this go around, I want to make sure that the ticket stand slash booth slash whatever table is all set up and ready. Early for anybody who wants to pre get their ticket, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Are you trying to bark the show, or are you simply setting up the booth?
I am simply setting up the booth. I am
All right.
hopeful that barking is somebody else's job. Um,
Could be.
you know,
All right. So it does. I mean, if you are doing the labor yourself, it doesn't. It's the it's setting up the ticket taking is not it's not challenging. You've done it before. It's a it is a place where you can sort of be inconspicuous.
hmm
So as you're there, um, you are setting up your ticket stand, um, and one of the more fancily dressed fairies comes up and asks, "Well, welcome to our little burg. Um, they call me Rush. How did you find yourself among this crew?"
oh well, I have always been among this crew. They they are my people.
Well, we certainly appreciate you making your way here and trying to bring some excitement to this sleepy little hamlet.
Of course, it is
So,
going to be a wonderful performance.
so, what do they give as gifts where you're from?
Oh, it depends very much on the occasion. It's sometimes it is cakes. Sometimes it is a kind word. Sometimes it is a performance. Depends on the people and the time and the place. What do they give as gifts here?
Oh, um, it depends what kind of means you have. Um, Sometimes it's little crystal figures, sometimes jewels, sometimes, as you say, a kind word, or a kind word in the right ear.
Of course. Well, we will see how everything unfolds.
I look forward to it.
Does he buy a ticket?
Um, yes, if you're actually selling them now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
He
figured
he he
early ticket selling is good.
absolutely. Um he pulls out a small handful of um I guess they'd be in this game. They have fanciful words for money because, well, the fairies are different about that. What he hands you is a shaving, which is the least kind of coin, the least kind of currency you get. It's enough for a meal or a ticket to a show. It is a reasonable amount. It is neither generous nor revealing.
Do we have stated ticket prices, or is that a pay as you will?
I mean, it is. I mean, because places are different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is typically a shaving or two, unless you think the ringmaster or the barker is trying to soak some people for more than they need.
Okay.
I mean, as the ticket taker, you could conceivably set whatever price you wanted.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to do anything out of the norm here today. So
Okay.
sounds like he is offering the exactly correct sort of price for these tickets.
Yeah. Typical anyway.
Yeah, great. I will sell him a ticket.
All right. Meanwhile, at Mommy Sorrel's wagon, the door is folded down and the table is set up. This table is often used for divination or tea service or the occasional game of cards. You are at your wagon when Nick comes loping up, Emerald. You catch his eye. You can see that he is um, wearing a slightly nicer shirt than when you saw him last. He looks and says, "Is it a good time?"
It is always a good time for tea. Please follow me.
He hunches over and folds himself in and tries not to bounce his head off the top of the wagon.
Inside is it's small, it's cozy. There's lots of pillows, down pillows, obviously. And yes, he didn't get a clean shirt. I appreciate
Yep.
that. There's a lovely collection of various cups and teapots. Um, and there is the smell of baking.
Mm.
There's actually a
Making
little
what?
steam. There's a little steam and like smoke vent up the top, and it's been
Oh,
piping
it's
up.
kind of like just puffing out smoke.
Hmm.
All right. What's in the oven?
Well, honey cakes, of course. They're Emerald Ash's specialty.
Mm. So he
So,
folds himself
Nick,
in,
please,
sits down.
do you have enough room? Are your legs comfortable?
I'll be fine.
That is important. It is my calling to make sure those around me are comfortable and happy. So, she picks up the teapot, which has been steeping and waiting in arrival, and pours him a cup. Tell me a little bit about yourself. At which point, I am trying to draw him out.
Draw him out. Okay. What are you hoping he'll do?
Uh, Trying to understand a little bit more about him, what he's hoping for as far as the festival, if there is something that displeases him perhaps about what he does, because he seems a little flat. I want to see if I can give him a little bit more liveliness, as it were.
Fair enough. Give me a 2d6 and
Alrighty.
and make that play.
I will, in fact, make that play. Well, actually, it's it. Actually, yeah, yeah. So that is, I'll draw that out and then do that. Okay. So where's my sheet? There's my sheet. That is so. Two, two. So it's 8 on the dice plus 2 is 10.
Fantastic. That is a solid hit.
Indeed, it
So
is.
that gives you two of the following questions. What are you
Mm-hmm.
considering? Where are you open to me? Where are you vulnerable? And where are you guarded? So that's one question. What are you forgetting, ignoring, or keeping from yourself? What do you hope I'll do? What are you afraid I'll do? And what do you expect and how do you feel about it? What would you like to know?
What are you forgetting, ignoring, or keeping from yourself? And what do you expect and how do you feel about it?
He sips his tea. What he is forgetting or ignoring is that he is ignoring that he is actually more influential and more well connected than he believes. He thinks of himself as being on the outskirts, but actually he is very closely tied to the way this place works. What does he expect? He expects that he will be um, if not ignored, then snubbed. That he will not get the blessing that the, the spider has to give out, and he's kind of disappointed by that. He drinks his tea,
Mhm.
and in the course of his conversation, you talk about what it is like to be in this little village where um, there are um, where the work is steady, the nobles are, if not kind, at least not cruel, and things kind of go in an ordinary way. The time keeps ticking, and he is Nick, the Nick of Time.
Of course.
And
And you're
like the
always where you need to be.
and
Don't sell yourself
like
short, my dear.
and like the shadows, he is longer in the summer than he is in the winter.
Kind of looks him up and down. So noted. So, as they're talking, kind of make sure that in one of the things that Emerald Ash will point out is like, well, considering you are in service to Mayor Globesome, you are usually the first to hear about things, are you not? You usually keep her schedule, or his schedule. I'm sorry, I don't know for sure. I'm assuming her based on the spinning.
You are correct.
You in a way, you can control who gets to see her and who doesn't. So there are a few people who should treat you poorly, especially if they want to have influence with the Lady Mayor themselves. Now, I want you to think about that, because I think there is more to you than you think there is. Do not sell yourself short, especially in the summer when you are longer. At which point, I will in fact serve him tea and honey cakes.
You have made this play. Tell us about
I've in fact made this play.
it. You have, okay.
Um, it is basically so with a little touch of magic, I can help him change his fate.
Mhm.
Which could be comforting, calming, and giving courage, good fortune and increase, up to and including a coming child, but I don't think he wants that right now.
Mhm.
Progress towards summer, or insight into the weakness of an enemy, or favor of someone they name, or if their intended refuses, it's an insult to me, my magic, my tea, my cakes, everything.
Okay. You've chosen to offer him this ritual. Stop it,
Yes.
Siri. I do
It's
not
like,
want. Go
it's like,
away, you
allow me.
foolish pixie. Anyway, sorry. Uh,
It's like, allow, well, in the spirit of the festival, allow me to offer you a little gift. Sets
all
tea
right.
cakes in front of him.
Absolutely. Um,
And that is a miss.
that is a miss.
Oh
Oh dear.
no.
Okay.
So, on a miss, they do receive one of the options, but there was another benefit that if there was a hit, he could become invisible.
Nope, that is true.
So
All right.
so he can choose
What is it?
one that he receives for himself. So it's comfort, calm, and courage,
Mhm.
good fortune and increase, up to and including a coming child, but again, progress towards summer, insight into the weakness of their rival or enemy, or some favor of the one they name, or if their intended refuses, is an insult to me.
Okay.
So, magical
I
pep
think,
talk.
sure. I think what happens here is that although he does, um, he does take your words and your gifts with kindness. Um, I believe that what he gets is, um, he takes from this, um, I think he moves a step towards summer. And what happens is, you can see that after he's um had a sip of, he's had the tea, he's had the honey cakes, you've engaged in a delightful little chat, and when he's done, um you can see that his forehead, um sort of the buds of tiny little antlers, as if there's horns that will be growing. He's it's the it's the he makes a scowling face and says, like, ugh, headaches. But nevertheless, he does start to bud those little antlers, and um
Chat, why? Someone was going to make the joke.
nope, it's absolutely true. See, I'm I am your mistress of ceremonies. I do not get to read the chat until I have to pause. Anyway, but yeah. So when he leaves, he's no shorter than he was. As he moves toward winter, he gets a little shorter, but he does seem to move with a more uh graceful, less loping gait, and so he moves on. And so
Excellent.
your your esteemed magisterial delight, how do you pass the next hour or so? How do you how who do you seek out first? How do you explore this place?
Naturally, I would love to gravitate to either the mayor
Okay.
themselves or wherever the court of nobles of the time like to frequent.
Okay.
It is time it is time to advertise, and what better advertisement?
Mhm. Okay. So you
You know what I mean?
the mayor has not yet made themselves visible, but you can absolutely find the sort of clutch of minor nobles. They are elfin kind. You can see their fine clothes, their pointed ears, their delicate features. They are gathering, and um, at first it sounds like they're whispering, but when you get closer, you can hear that as they do, they're sort of weaving in snippets of song in there. Like it's somewhere between gossip and uh, a group sing.
Well, I think that sounds absolutely delightful. I would never presume to eavesdrop, but we can't call it eavesdropping because there are no eaves.
They look around and say, there are not eaves, but there are leaves, and there are those who do over here in the over. But please, join us. How do you how do you fare?
We fare as the ever changing skies and the cool summer breezes that tonight.
Hmm.
To all we bring wonder and merriment, and I have come to invite you to partake in both.
One of them introduces themselves as uh, Starfall, and the other uh, as Canopy, and they are eager to match wits or flirt or otherwise pass the time, but they are here and curious. What would you do with them?
Oh, I would absolutely do both of those things. I will match wits with them. I will flirt with them. I will attempt to take their breath away.
Which one? Both of them?
I, 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 I think I have a natural chemistry with the one called Starfall.
Okay.
Being Star myself, I cannot help but fall.
All right. What do you do to take their breath away before we make the play?
If we're playing a witty word game, as it is, um, talking about talking about the circus, the upcoming show,
Mhm.
the performance that we're about to put on in the context of this gift giving, I will weave as many gift and present puns as I possibly can into the conversation.
Mhm.
As in, I will make sure to wear ribbons for you. If you are planning to if you're planning to sit in a certain section, I if you're planning to sit in the north if you're planning to sit in the northeast quadrant, you might want to tag a base. You might want to tag a seat or two. It tends to get popular. Um, we gird yourself in your prettiest wrapping, your prettiest wrapping, your shiniest bows. That sort of thing.
Uh, and perhaps you will find your affections returned. And in that moment, your eyes meet, or you try anyway.
Try.
Um, let's get the roll.
Let's do it. No, I don't want to buy more things. I just want to roll this. is. Well, that sucks, boy. Well, I beefed that roll considerably. That is a 3 plus 2 is a 5.
All right. It's a
not
miss, but that's
it's not my best. It is
it
not
is
my
it,
best.
it is not your best. But what happens is this. You lock eyes with them, with Starfall, and for a moment, you understand what it is that draws people to elfenkind. Your breath is caught for a moment, and one of them, at this time, asks, "At this moment, at any soul's approach but yours, I would flee. Will you come closer?"
They take one step forward and hold out their hand.
Will you stay? This is a festival of blessing, and I would make of myself a gift to you if you would only stay.
Stay. There's only one star that's fixed in the night sky. Others make their rotations around. I am not that star. I must forever meet.
And they look at you, crestfallen, and say, "Of course. How foolish of me." And they take their hand away, and they look over to Canopy and to Rush, and they go, "I feel as though I must. Perhaps it's wine that I want, or something else. Come, cousins, let us away."
For a moment, left alone and rejected in that beautiful little book. I pull myself together and curse my wandering nature. In the soul of tragedy, I will stalk back to my wagon to have a little cry and maybe some sort of destructive rampage.
Mm. But if I can, Rosecheek, you saw this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I was about to go up to her and say, "Well, are you her right now? Yes, her? Or does it not?
No, I am not.
Well, I have something to distract you."
All right then.
Much more fun than
Smile
that
just sort of.
foolish elf. Come on.
Elves are not. Elves are not foolish. They are. They are their own entity unto themselves.
All right, Aldebaran. I think they would simply be foolish to refuse you. But come, come, come. I'm
Please lead on.
going to lead Aldebaran roughly to, I think it was the bower that you had mentioned that the wind being seemed to indicate. I'm not necessarily going all
Yep.
up in it,
Yep.
but I wanted to get near-ish to it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, is Aldebaran tall?
Yes.
May I carefully climb you?
My dear,
I won't muss you
not a
things.
question. Not a question one usually asks in public.
I mean to get.
But if you, yes, yes.
Oh, oh, no. I mean, well, no. Up. And so they're going to try to sort of generally get in the uppish direction of the bower, though they're not going there because they're not sure they're gonna like summon the being.
Aldebaran will give Rose Cheek uppies.
I get uppies. Yes. It's so unfortunate. Um so what Rose Cheek is trying to do is to get in that general area and sniff the wind because that's one of the things they're particularly good at. This whole place seems very interesting and they're trying to get sort of a vibe check.
Sure, absolutely. Sniff the Wind is one of the plays that players can make as much as characters. It's basically ask the GM for advice or clue. And to do that, roll a 2d6. Do not add a stat, it is just a roll.
Oh, cool. Okay. Press the correct dice and roll. That like rolled in a spot. I definitely didn't do this. I'm gonna make this a bigger thing to roll in. First of all, that was not great. Oh, actually, hey, I
Why
have a quick
not
question for you.
add a stat, Jason? I thought it was one of the things
Uh,
that we added.
Yeah, I have a
To,
+2 on that.
yeah.
But
that is the in the book. It says there is no roll with or actually I guess not. I guess if it's a stat, roll your thing. What is attached to it?
it's not a particularly good one. But what I did want to ask you is if I could use one of my trappings to improve it, and I
Sure.
would
How
explain
do
in
you
how.
wish to do that? Absolutely.
Let me grab them to make sure I have the right ones in front of me. I don't want to miss the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think you just simply hit, right?
Uh,
If what you rolled was
uh,
a 7 or better, you got a hit.
oh, that's true. I could make it a 10, but I guess I don't need to necessarily make it a 10. I need to get a 7.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Sure. That's good enough.
So,
Um,
among the questions,
yes.
for the crowd, what's coming this way? What's here I haven't seen? Whose territory is this? Who's doing? If I trust my feet to carry me to safety, where will they take me? How can I make myself invisible or unnoticed here? And if I trust my nose to lead me to the heart of this, where would it take me next? So basically, get a clue. What kind of clue do you want?
I would like to ask the latter, please. The last.
Okay. If I trust my nose to lead me to the heart of this, where would it take me next? Um, you sniff the wind. Up here you can smell. Um, there's a sweetness to the air that's harder to perceive down on the ground, and you believe that if you wanted to go to the heart of this, you'd probably want to go further up, like into the bower.
Oh, it is up. I thought that was interesting. There is something about the up of this place. Perhaps it has to do with the spiders. Some spiders like going up.
I wouldn't go against that.
And there was that person. They looked at me and they gestured up, but it was for later. I don't think later is now. I think later is still later. There's
Who are you
something.
talking? Who are you talking to? There?
I don't believe we exchanged words, just glances. What did the
Although they're as powerful as any words.
what did the being look like?
Um, it was um, kind of lithe, cloud colored, or at least cloud aspected. Um, hair kind of puffy and curled. Um, garments loose. Um, feet not quite touching the ground.
They were a windswept person. They looked like the sky and the clouds, and a bit like sunset and a bit like sunrise. And they looked at me and they smiled, but they went, and then they looked up,
Ooh,
and they seemed to
a
indicate it
secret
was
dalliance.
perhaps. I don't know. I am, I suppose, I could dally.
Why couldn't you dally? Everyone can dally.
That's true. But there is something big and secret about the up of this place, and I wanted you to know first.
Darling, thank you.
Well, they didn't treat you the way that perhaps you ought best to be treated, so I thought that somebody ought to.
Correct. Right, of course.
Besides, I knew that you could get me up.
I do like raising your spirits.
Rose Cheek, if unless Aldebaran stops them, gives Aldebaran a hug.
You
Like
are you are in
there,
you are
there.
in you
I
are.
am. Just there. Yep, there it is.
Oh what?
Yep, there
Oh,
it is. Yep.
that is that
We're
is
doing
that
this.
is lovely.
Yep, we're doing this.
Yep.
Mm, What pleasant. That's lovely. Thank you. And very gently, it's a okay. We're done now.
They follow that social cue.
Is it's the fair enough. Okay. Meanwhile, time passes. You have managed to explore some of the town. Where would you like to go next? What would you like to learn about these people?
Oh, Jason, by the way,
Yeah.
just letting you know that we're about halfway through.
Yep, that is in fact why I'm sort of giving people the chance to ask more questions, talk to more people, and once we are through with that, we can take a small break and we can go to the part of the show where the show happens.
What do what is the general vibe in what they want out of the performance? Like the circus has come to town, but everybody has a favorite part of the circus.
Well, that is a question. One of the ways you can find that information out is through things like drawing someone out, or opening up, or sizing someone up, or finding someone to talk to and ask.
Or more sniff the wind, I would think, right?
I'm going to be a good barber.
Wait, I've lost sound.
Oh,
Oh,
uh-oh.
Can I hear you? Yeah. Okay. No, I think. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
We can hear
man.
you.
Okay, great. No problem. For some reason, these earbuds are very finicky, and
Mm.
I'm still figuring out how best to use them. My apologies for that. But yes, find someone and ask, and that will give a reflection. We've talked to Nick, we've talked, and we've seen some other folk. Find out that is available to that information is available to you. Just ask around.
I think that's exactly what I'm going to do as I'm touring the town, barbering the show. Um, I will. There's a way to. I know that I've done this personally for the Fringe Festival, which we have. Um, basically asking questions like, "So, what do you want to see?" what Nana, what's your favorite part of the trip?
Mhm.
And basically getting people's reactions to what they want to see before we even got the show.
No, that makes sense. So let me say this. Um, let's find someone and draw them out.
Let's do that.
Okay. What kind of person are you going to ask?
Having had trouble with the gentry, I'm going to try for the small folk.
Fly with whom?
So the small folk.
The small folk. Yep.
How about a bartender?
Hmm.
How about a tavern keeper?
Okay. Fair enough. Draw them out.
All right. While I'm uh, while I'm drinking the local favorite, of
Mhm.
course, and gathering, I kind of want to like almost not take over the conversation at the bar, but very make myself a focal point of attention
Mhm.
by doing small tricks with coins, goblets, um, napkins, just tiny little close-up magics.
Sounds good. Little
Yeah,
ledger demand
let's
certainly helps.
yeah,
Um,
let's do this.
That
roll
might
for it.
actually be open up to them as a better move.
Also a good option. If you open up to
Not,
them, you capture their
not,
attention and they must hear you out, which is if you open
you
up to
know what?
someone that opening up to someone will give more of an idea about it will by opening up to them you are more likely to get them to do what you want whereas opposed to drawing someone out will find out what they want,
I
but
am
I will let you do as you
better.
choose.
I'm better at drawing them out, but you know what? Let's get messy. She's not very good at opening up to people. I'm
Okay.
sure you know this. So yeah, let's go. Let's do the bad thing.
Which play are you doing?
I am opening up to them,
Okay.
and that is a 6.
Okay. Plus what?
No,
Six total.
it was 7 minus 1. She's
Ah.
not good at opening up to people.
Okay.
I am.
So
She's
here
having the
is
worst day.
I was so here is the thing. I was going to offer you one anyway because of using the trappings of basically taking involved using your established role to sort of play things through. So let's say that this is a 7 rather than a 6. Pick one of the ones that you have an option for. You can reveal to them what you'd like them to do in exchange for an offer or a favor. If they refuse, you can consider it an insult. You can reveal something you're considering and judge their reaction to it. You can offer them something explicitly or implicitly, and if they accept it, they're beholden to you in proportion as you judge it. Or you can confide in them or explain something to them. Tell them what you reveal and ask them how they take it.
Hmm.
So, you have done your ledger domain. You have shown them what you are, at least to some degree. What do you want from them?
I think I am implicitly offering them
Yep.
the magic of the circus.
Okay.
I am offering them this little sort of free little free show that I'm
Mhm.
giving is sort of an appetizer. I am implicitly offering the entire meal.
And so they accept it. These are people who are hoping to get something um, wondrous, miraculous. I mean, they're here for the blessing, and you have given them something very much its shape. And so, yes, they are beholden to you, and they will do as you ask. What do you ask of them?
I ask of them nothing but to attend and nothing but to attend and to enjoy.
All right, so we'll win about 7 or 8 people come rushing to the ticket stand. Um, and they are coming in they are almost running, and they are putting down uh what what offerings they have, what goods they have, and they are putting them and pushing them toward you and saying, "We would like tickets, please. Us and our cousins and our kin. We would like tickets to the show, please." Do you have a I'm sorry, you're thinking about your reaction. I'm sorry.
Yeah, suddenly a crowd appeared. Um,
Yes.
I will gladly sell them tickets, uh, making a mental note that somebody is doing a great job of advertising, as always, um, and kind of keep a count. I do want to see. Tell me if this is something that works. I so one of my trappings is that there is music and wildflower perfume wherever I am, more or less.
Absolutely.
Um,
That's true.
so that is certainly happening. But I was hoping that um, with that around and with a crowd now here buying tickets, I
Mhm.
might be able to get a bit more of an understanding of kind of what's going on with this festival that we're here at, and doing a
Sure.
sniff the wind as well. Um,
Absolutely. You can sniff the wind. Take +1 on this roll.
ooh, that's great.
Just explain to me before you make the roll.
Yeah.
Explain to me how your music and your perfume is helping this go forward. How does this help you catch the vibe, sniff
I
the
mean,
wind?
so I'm trying to kind of gather this information out of how folks are behaving and interacting as they buy tickets. So my general hope is that both the music and the general pleasant wildflower smell in the air makes people a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more honest with their portrayal of their
Mhm.
thoughts and feelings and emotions, and kind of just lets them open up a little bit.
Sounds great. Why don't
Okay.
you take a deep breath and tell me what you get?
All right, let me roll 2 dice, and I'm adding my normal amount plus an extra one.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I've rolled a 9, and it's a 9 plus 3.
Right. That's just
That is
fine.
a
Thanks.
that is a hit.
That
That
that that, that
is.
is a that is a that is a solid home run hit. Uh all right. Sniff the wind. You get to ask me 2 questions.
I do. Um, so I would like to find out. Um, let's see. I was gonna ask what's here that I haven't yet seen, but I'm, I know there's a spider that I haven't yet seen, so I'm hoping it's not that. What's coming this?
It is not my practice to give you the answers to questions you already know, right?
That's
It's
valid.
the yeah, it is
That's.
the this is not the sun rises in the east and sets in the west kind of thing.
Are you sure? Let's start
I
though with what's coming this way.
what's coming this way. What's coming this way are hungry creatures who want bigger gifts than this town can provide.
Hmm.
You smell hunger in the air.
Okay. Then let's follow that up with what's here that I haven't seen. Hmm.
What's here that you haven't seen? Um, you have not seen um you have not seen the face of Carrie and what dangers it holds.
Hmm.
I mean, and you haven't seen a giant spider, but that you know about.
I mean, that's true.
Yep.
But I know about the giant spider and the spider web holding the lights that I'm sure not at all doing anything to do with eavesdropping.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. Good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're
I
welcome.
will sell many, many tickets.
Okay.
Is anyone planning on sharing the insights about looking up, specifically to the person who can turn into a bird?
I mean,
I was
it
presuming
might-
when we all got
it-
together
it-
that there
it
would be some sharing.
it would be a good idea, but like
I was going to share the, be careful of all the spider webbing that's up. But
I presumed we might have a chance for that possibly post break, depending on when break is, and then we all get together for the Muppet Show aspect, and then say, by the way, up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
There is an up.
I think we
Yeah.
need.
sorry, I'm not home right now. I'm walking into spider webs.
I am expecting a huddle of pre-show planning that will need to happen.
I mean, at the same time, there might be, with the pre-show planning, there might not actually be time to take action on those things. So that's why I'm asking now.
Sure. So, is someone going to who will tell Emerald Ash about the dangers that have been uncovered so far?
I'm happy to do the literal there is an up, since that was the specific thing that was mentioned, and besides, I haven't gotten to see Emerald Ash yet.
I since I am busy selling tickets, I will see if I can actually catch Rose Cheek's attention, and then as an aside, say, "Hey, Rose Cheek,
Yes.
I get a certain sense that there is some potential, maybe danger is the wrong word, but some potential things with those who might hunger for more gifts than they ought to be getting." And I was wondering if you'd be willing to kind of just spread that information to our people, as I am, I should not step away from selling the tickets.
Of course. Is that the up? There is an up. There's an exciting. I will tell you more about the up when you are done selling tickets.
Spider
I am
webs are up, but
so is. I should find out their name. There's somebody who wants me to see the up, but later, but not.
later.
I should tell Emerald Ash.
Yes,
I should
yes.
tell Emerald Ash. Okay. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go find
At
Emerald
the
Ash.
same time, Aldebaran is feeling very sorry for themselves. And will come
And-
looking for succor, comfort, and tea.
Yes, and Emerald Ash is
Because I'm
actually just
hideous.
Emerald Ash has literally just come out of their cart, specifically with a bottle of Aldebaran's favorite wine, because she heard the depressed neighing from a mile away.
Depressed Nag is my Patti Smith cover band.
Wow. Wow.
That's
I was not
Damn.
prepared for that.
oh my god.
Holy
Okay.
shit! So she's coming out and has the bottle of wine. It's like,
dare they?
Here you go. You can pour your own. I trust you.
I
You're
should
not the
have
one to get
known.
intoxicated before the show.
Never.
Poor dear.
I should have known with a name like Starfall they would be the undoing of me.
I'm sure they will sleep with one eye open tonight.
We're not going near any rivers for about a year and a half.
Oh, is that Rose Cheek coming?
Hello?
I think it is.
Oh,
Oh, she has much to say.
I found something. And so did Willowwind. And together, they might be even more of something.
Oh, all right. Do share.
It's up. There's something up, but there's also something hungry for more gift than perhaps the town can accommodate. And this may complicate matters. I don't know if the hungry is up, but I do know there is up. Aldebaran helped me. And I do know that there is the hunger, and Willowwind found the hunger.
I see. Well, I can certainly help with the up.
I am also, yes, we should both, in different ways, go up. I am supposed to go up. There is, not just, you should also go up, but there is someone here. I describe the Windy Gem. I don't know why I've decided their mask. Maybe their mask. They wanted me, they did this, and then they pointed up and seemed to indicate later I should find them at some point. Yes.
Interesting. I should go stretch my wings a little bit. I'll be back, but I'll be back in time before the show planning starts. I'll be back before call time.
Be careful, my little warbler.
If you see,
If anything happened to you, I would have to destroy this place and everyone in it.
well, that would complicate things much more than just hungry things.
I'll make sure that we've gotten their money first.
If you see the blustery person, let me know.
Will do.
I asked
And
for some
with
wine.
that, yeah.
First, she takes
and
some
with-
wine if that's allowed.
Rose Cheek is going to be even more Rose Cheek.
It'll be great.
Does Rose Cheek does Rose Cheek eat and drink like a person does?
Kinda.
Does Rose Cheek
They
have
attempt-
an emptyable compartment?
Sure. Yes, that works, and they don't taste like people do. But that sounds wrong. They don't perceive taste like people do.
Active verbs.
Yes.
Wrong game.
They don't perceive taste like people do, but when they taste something, they taste what is essentially the memory of it. They don't understand why they have that. Player understands why. But Rose Cheek experiences the memory of what that tastes like.
I just imagine that like inside Rose Cheek is this bottle or this bladder or something that like it's like it pours in,
They have to go
and then
empty.
like you can just like remove it and like you can drink the wine again.
It's great.
No, because it's
It's very
mixed
Roman
with
of me.
cake and whatever.
All right,
Well, well,
less good
I mean-
then. You know, it's,
I mean, that's like
that's
people.
tiramisu.
Not
That's
that
an
different.
entirely different. You know.
Oh, that's not right.
Nope. Pardon me, I must empty myself.
No. But yeah,
So you're
Rose
saying
Cheek will
she's got a
be-
wooden leg. Got it.
Oh, no. So yes, thimble full of wine,
She does. She uses it when the other ones are out of order. You know.
just to whack things. But yes,
Anyway,
yes.
Anyway, so Emerald Ash, you were about to do a thing before we took this wonderful sojourn.
I am in that.
Fly, my
All right.
fly.
You
I
put
have
on your
this handy
Yes.
dandy little pin that Emerald Ash usually keeps on her,
Mhm.
and she turns into a bird
All right.
to fly
What
up
st- what-
and
what-
get a
what
new
size
perspective.
bird? What kind? What size bird? We're talking like a
Um,
finch, like a hawk, like a kestrel.
I'm thinking more like a parrot.
Okay,
Hell
swell.
yeah.
No, no, you got it.
I mean, come on.
A
Nope,
cockatiel.
absolute. A minor.
Budgie.
Quaker parrot.
Yeah.
All right.
Go to the
Um,
circus.
Like the one that
where Emerald,
sings
where
different
Emerald
noises.
Ash stood, now a bird alights. Where do you head?
I'm trying to see if I can actually get a little bit of elevation,
Mhm.
specifically, if there's like trees or whatnot around, just kind of above kind of the tree line, so like, kind of so I'm like seeing the tops of the trees and
Gotcha.
kind of
It
looking
is.
down.
It is difficult. I mean, the canopy is very, very thick, and as you fly up into it, the spider webs they're sort of clinging to your feathers. It's a little bit hard to get any real super high elevation.
Well,
Well,
that sounds like a danger that I need to navigate,
yep,
which I can, easily weather the storm.
absolutely. You can weather this storm. Why don't we see
And since I
how
am
well?
using my trappings as part of it, does that
Yep, sure. Throw in a +1 for this.
okay? And so I have a +1 naturally to it, but
Hmm.
due to stuff on my sheet. Let's go
Hmm.
ahead and do the shiny math rocks thing.
Shiny math rocks.
Oh, whoo! I'm glad I have that +2 because that is a 7 total.
7
Oh.
total. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's see here.
Oh.
Let me. So let's
So,
see. Mhm. Weather the storm. All right. Well, you get to do you. It's a hit. So,
yep.
you get one of the two. So, um, you storm ranges around me, but it doesn't move me from my place. Or I ride the
Mhm.
storm where it carries me, but I don't lose my feet. So, in this case, I'm going to say the first is you um you do not break the tree line, but you are also not ensnared by webs. And the second one
Right.
is you do break the tree line, but you are ensnared by webs. One of the two. It's the do you succeed at the goal or do you avoid the consequence?
Um, I think I'm going to succeed at the goal because I am quick enough and I am strong enough to
Okay.
be able to keep flying, even
Yep.
with the ensnared webs.
Yep. Okay. That's fair. All right. So you are uh ensnarled or at least tangled up in these webs. But you do break the tree line and
Mhm.
you can see um from above the treetops and the cool clear night sky. You can see how the webs cover the tree canopy, or at least the places of it, and you can see from up here there's not just one spider. There are many spiders. Small ones, big ones, of a variety of
Big
colors.
one, small one, some as big as your head. Sorry.
Yes, the ones as big as your head are not the biggest. Um, so you see them sort of climbing up the top and around the thing, and your flight is ungainly. And from the canopy, you see what must be Scintilla climbing up through the treetop. And you see several arms and several legs, human formed, not arachnid formed. a bulbous body and what look like eyes set in with large sunglasses, like big Elton John sunglasses. And she waves an arm and says, "Come down, little bird. Let's talk."
Rah, come to the circus. Rah.
"I'm no fool, little bird. I know what you are. Come down, please. I would converse with you."
Rah. I'm not tasty. Rah.
Well, that's not true. Most things
Rah.
are tasty.
Rah.
All right,
She
so
drops a little
she,
bit in elevation, but not into a spot where if she needs to get outy, she can.
no, of course, of course. So yes, you are in a tete-a-tete with Scintilla Globesome. What do you do?
Well, I have quite a few options here. Of course,
You do.
offer the respects of the circus on behalf of the circus that is here specifically for this festival,
Mhm.
and that, if I'm not mistaken, she requested. If I'm not, is that correct?
Absolutely. You are here at the invitation of the mayor, which, Scintilla is.
Hmm.
And you are here to perform and provide it's the this is the circus is not a gift, but the circus has gifts to give.
Got it. Okay.
So that is why you are here. You are here to perform because the nature of the festival is that it calls for some measure of, give and take, and she believes
Hmm.
this would be a fine way of delivering that.
Okay. Um. So, in as much as she can articulate in bird form, it's gonna be a lot of pieces of art. I'm not going to do that voice for the rest of this though because that's annoying.
Okay.
Um, I kind of want to start talking to her, get her to, and like actually, draw her out a little bit to see if there's
Okay.
something in particular that she thinks the circus would be good for her constituents, because clearly she is a mother to her people.
I see. Okay. Um then let's see what happens when you draw her out.
Alrighty. And that is an 8 plus 2 is 10.
That's pretty good. Hard to do better.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So,
So I have some questions I can ask.
okay.
Alrighty. On a 10, ask two of the following.
Mhm.
What are you considering? And what are you afraid I'll do?
I am considering I am considering keeping you. You would be a fine prize, and I like having things that I can keep, especially ones that I can keep up here where the air is more thin. What am I afraid you'll do? I am afraid. I am afraid you will tell people what's up here. And what do you do with that?
Well, as an individual who travels from place to place, the normal day-to-day goings on here are not my concern, and I trust you to be a good leader to your people. However, I am also a leader to my people, and so I must stay with them. I mean, I simply provide them food, but apparently that has a lot of cachet. Especially when you know their favorites.
Fair enough. It sounds to me like you're trying to put her off to give you room to
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
That sounds like the play to
yeah, I
make.
am.
That sounds like the play
yeah,
to
I
make.
am. Ooh. All right. Let's. Come on, RNGesus, don't fail me now. So that is a 10 on the dice, plus 1 is an 11.
All right. And with your words, she does not move to stop you when you leave.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
And she has the assurances that we will put on a show that her sweet little town will never forget.
That sounds lovely. And it also sounds like that was a good time for a break.
Yes.
All right.
How long of a break? It is 9:12. Jason, how long of a break are you thinking?
I don't know. 5 minutes?
5 minutes? Sounds good. I'm going to
Okay.
put us.
55.
I'm going to put us on the BRB screen and run an ad so that we hopefully get rid of some pre-rolls. And we'll be back in 5 minutes. Let me see. Haha, I think we're back. We look back, and it looks like we have sound. Yay.
Yay!
Gotcha. For those people who watched Triptych last year, the facility with which the system is working is remarkable compared
now
to.
that you've said it, Jason,
Yeah.
the system did go
Oh,
out
and-
of beta, so I think they fixed a lot of
Yes.
problems. But I'm sure they've introduced
Yes,
new
let
ones.
me. Absolutely, I will go and
Yes.
dine on a hamburger at the Scottish restaurant. Um,
Okay.
all right.
Damn it, now I want a
So,
burger.
Yeah, me too.
well,
Hey,
you're in the right time zone. You can go have dinner if you like. Your dinner is
Oh,
before
I will
you.
absolutely do that once we are done. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Gotcha.
I want a hamburger from the restaurant named after a little redheaded girl. But
I see.
you know,
They'll be open when we stop.
Yeah. But I mean,
Probably.
I mean,
they even
Renee
deliver.
has access to all kinds of
Mhm.
tasty places that we don't have here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So returning,
Yes.
Emerald Ash.
Emerald Ash flaps awkwardly back down and it's just like, ew, 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 lands, rolls and it's covered in ew.
Yes. Emerald
There's
Ash
cleaning
is
happening.
covered is snarled in cobwebs.
Oh, there's cleaning and preening happening.
What happened to
Yes.
you?
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I got up into the canopy, got past the canopy.
What did you see?
I met the mayor.
Oh,
How are they besides messy?
Fertile.
what?
Explain.
In the context of what is stuck to me.
Oh.
Yes. Not. These are spider webs, to be clear. They are absolutely spider webs. Not anything else, which would be even worse. And at which point I would just go straight to the back.
Gross.
Thank
You
you.
okay?
I need a bath. I need a bath very badly, and I'm not going to be able to get to one after the show. Ugh.
Was she a spider?
Well, darling, what do you think
Yes.
these are?
I don't know.
Uh,
She said something else, and then I got very confused. I thought they were spider webs. But
they are spider webs.
I
I
suppose she
just
could have
realized that.
powers over spiders and
Anyway,
not be one.
she is very much a mother to her people. I will say that much.
That's
We have
good.
definitely not met the entire population of the village or the town. A lot of them are in the tree.
I'm supposed to speak to the wind person.
Be very careful when you do. That said, with that, there's literally an upper echelon of people, and I say that in as far as elevation, which means that anything that's said in the town can probably be heard. So just
That's why. That's why they did that. Interesting.
Well, damn.
I don't think I was saying anything particularly important at the time.
no. It was probably just a very good warning.
Oh.
And honestly, more often than not, the things we say are relatively inoffensive anyway.
Depends on who I'm talking to. But yes.
Depends on the day.
This will have a fairly large audience. And depending on how high the canopy goes, are we putting up the full tent or is it just.
Honestly, because so much of our audience might be up, I propose a tentless show so that all of our guests can get the best vantage point.
That's a lot of ticket revenue we're missing out on.
Should I tell Willowwind? Should I go tell Willowwind?
I mean, I would love to have them part of this discussion. Yes.
I'll go.
Yeah, that would be wise. But if Willowwind isn't busy,
I can check.
considering who knows how many. I saw a bit of a stampede heading towards the ticket booth, so who knows?
I could
Need a
check
bit of help.
and bring, or she could come, or perhaps I could tell her if need be.
Go on, darling, scamper.
All right.
All right. Rose Cheek
I don't want to
barrels
cut their
out.
conversation off either. Obviously, I can do this in a bit.
It is all right. It is worthwhile for you to try to bring in the other player character to the group conversation. So I am in favor of you zipping out that way. You make your way to the place where Willowwind has set up the ticket booth or the ticket stand. There are still many people who are almost literally throwing money at Willowwind.
I am
But you
keeping
managed
my
to
eye
make your
open in case I
yeah.
see that person I saw before, but I'm not assuming,
Yep.
even if I did, that I would talk to them necessarily now.
Gotcha. Okay. You keep your eyes open in case something unusual happens. You have pushed your way through the throng, and now you are close enough to Willowwind that you can speak to them clearly.
I disjoint a little bit to do that. Excuse me.
Hmm?
Oh, Willowwind.
Yes.
We have heard some things, and there are a lot of people here, but
Yeah.
we would love to talk to you. Oh, I know. I've heard most of the things. Why don't you go and hear about the things, and I can sell the tickets so that you don't have to miss them? Because I've heard most of the things.
Hang on. Jason,
Yes.
do we have a second ticket seller that we can take turns with?
An NPC.
I
Right.
mean, probably so. I mean,
Like, that is my job at the circus today, but
Well, I mean, like
also.
it is a job you can do, but you can also say like the box office is closed for a while. That is also an option, as the
Ah,
show is not for quite a while. Yeah,
excellent. The box office close for, the ticket taker needs to go do little
Lunch
girl
break.
things? Yes. Or that.
Need to go to the little weeds
absolutely.
room. Got it.
Wow.
There are some
Need to go
some
water
sad people
myself
going,
or
but
something.
sad people going, but I wanted to buy a ticket.
We'll be back. You can buy a ticket in a little bit. Don't worry, there will be seats for everyone, but you will need a ticket to see the show. Um, okay, great. I will.
There will be seats for everyone.
Oh,
Oh God.
it's fine.
Who buys a ticket? Comma. I will follow Rose Cheek to where all the players can interact
Yes,
with Plus
absolutely.
together.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it is my fervent and humble belief that like it's better when the player characters are all talking to each other. So,
I was figuring.
all right. So, um, Rose Cheek drags Willow Wind in. Um, whose wagon is this conversation taking place in? Just out of curiosity.
I think it was an Emerald
Got it.
Ashes. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's just getting the last bits of the cobweb offer.
Which is
Yep.
always a welcome
Feels-
wagon to be in because there's usually honey cakes and tea.
Absolutely.
And comfy cushions and blankets.
Exactly.
Yep.
Do you think this mayor is sinister in nature?
I wouldn't say sinister, but definitely acting in accordance to her own nature, which might. Well, spiders are predators.
Do you think the mayor is the hunger?
Not sure. Might be the other echelon of the populace.
So, when I what I
There's
gathered
lots of
was
spiders
that
up there.
there is the hunger coming, and also, uh, Carrie, I think is the name, is here that we have not yet seen, and we have been warned about Carrie taking gifts, taking what she wanted. Carrie with
That
the
is
comb.
true. We haven't seen anything about that. That is true.
We saw her
It is something to
early
consider.
on. I know I had the feeling I was watched when she sat combing her hair. And then she disappeared.
Was that Carrie?
Yes,
Oh,
I think. Well,
I think.
I'm fairly certain that the mayor will be keeping a very close eye on me from here on out. So if someone's going to go poke at that particular little bit, it probably shouldn't be me.
I still have to go up. At least I think that that's what they meant.
Be very, very careful if you go up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will do my best not to become a marionette.
I mean, honestly, cleaning spider webs out of your joints will be a hassle.
I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
And the sparrow will help me.
Um.
The one that lives in my joints.
What? So, you said you saw the mayor up there.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else up there? I was assuming the spider
hasn't-
webs were what is helping the mayor listen to everything. That is how spiders listen, right?
She has a big family.
Ah, a lot of spiders. That's a lot
I
of
mean, that
web.
is natural.
That is what spiders do. Are they planning on watching the show from up there?
Which is why I suggested a 10th performance tonight.
No spider has purchased a ticket.
Do
That
they
is true.
have to?
Everybody should purchase a ticket.
I pulled a card and it said thief. So perhaps that is the hungry, or that is people coming without paying.
If we put up a tent, everyone will have to purchase a ticket in order to see.
What about?
However, if we do allow the mayor and her brood um, to stay in their canopy, thereby bringing the show to them, they might consider it their gift.
It
Oh,
is also
perhaps.
possible that those who are generally less fortunate will go up into the trees in order to enjoy the show that they would not otherwise be able to afford, which is fine as long as they are not then put in danger of the plethora of spiders up there. I do not
We
I
wish
cannot
mean,
be
anybody
held
to.
responsible for the risks that they take by climbing the trees.
does the mayor
Eh,
usually eat her
I
constituents?
don't know.
I don't know either. At the same time, if they see the show and are impressed by the show, they could be considered encouraged, perhaps moved to generosity for some blessing that they're asking for. That said, I'm not entirely sure what this blessing is, so I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
I don't know.
But if the blessing keeps the place prosperous for a little while longer, wouldn't
I
hurt.
know that Nick was worried. He wanted to get the gift that would make him finally happy, but he was worried that he will be a gift instead.
That he would be a gift?
Yes, he would be gifted to somebody
I
else.
actually, I had
It's not
a,
completely
I had a
unheard of.
talk. That's true. I had a little bit of a chat with him earlier to help him recognize his own value and his own worth.
Hmm. Oh, good.
And I think that may help him a little. In the meantime, pulls a hunk of spiderweb that got caught in her ear. Oh,
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 Um,
oh, oh, I can hear you better.
oh,
I think
You
if we
should. God.
create the illusion that the mayor is very generous and magnanimous, we won't be uh, the thing she wants to keep.
good. Mm.
Is she keeping the townsfolk?
I mean,
Are they all hers?
Food for thought.
if she has a spider web
Mm-hmm.
literally on top of them,
Yep.
do they want to be? Also, if they are kept, do they want to be free? Not, not all captives desert. Not all captives desire freedom.
Mm-hmm. I suppose.
We could ask them if it came down to it. They might even tell us.
That said, a
Hmm.
large job of what a large part of my job is to find out what all of you want that will make your lives better and help you get it.
Mm.
So I think maintaining the opportunity for showing a little bit of what is it called? Noblesse oblige, perhaps,
Always.
would be helpful. And if there are others who are not happy with the way things are, perhaps we could put on a good enough show that they see it as a distraction. I don't know. Then again, as I mentioned to the good mayor herself, we travel and thus we cannot push ourselves too deeply into the affairs of every place we go.
Ah, yes, the Fairy
especially if
Prime
you want to
Directive.
return.
Yes. I believe
the
we
mayor,
adhere to it just like everybody else adheres to their prime directives.
Italy. The mayor would be traditionally the no,
The
noblesse,
noblesse.
to which they would be obliged. Yes, mostly.
Yes,
So
mostly.
we extend that to her. We're hoping that she could extend more of it to them, in a sense,
That
or
is a
us.
hope.
Good hope.
I swear I took 2 more cards, and all they say are old woman and stolen. It is repeating itself.
Huh.
That's not helpful.
I mean, when something is telling you the same thing over and over again, perhaps it is good to believe it.
True. I'm I'm inclined
Or
to
it's a
listen.
parrot.
It could be both.
Are your cards a
Right,
parrot?
this is of ceremonies, right?
Oh no. Do, do you have any clarification? Thanks. It said, and this is something I usually take as to mean the general direction of up, tower. Thanks. You're in a mood.
The cards frequently are, dear. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do the fortune teller bit anymore.
Oh, it's fun
They're
though.
just sassy.
It's fun.
I mean,
That's
eventually
Then
you will run
perhaps
out
a
of old
show.
lady cards, and it will have to say something else, right?
That's true.
You'd think. That's
There must
why I
be some.
don't do divination anymore.
I
Still like
literally
it.
did a 3 card spread for someone about 50 years ago, and it was just undead, undead, undead.
And and were
It's
they?
too many.
No, it's a Bauhaus concert.
No, Mr. Murphy was fine.
It's
But
too many undead. You should put some back.
that is
For that, you need
hogging
a
the
shovel.
undead. Do not hog the undead.
I've got 30 to 50 feral undead hogs.
Oh my god.
Speaking of which, do we think there are dead bodies up there? Just out of curiosity.
I
If
didn't see
I
any, but
mean,
that doesn't mean they're not there.
she
They
may. I
must.
mean,
That
she may be keeping them in
that is a
another part of her
spider
web.
thing.
It's
You
Yes.
do know how spiders eat, though,
the
correct?
kitchen.
No. No.
No.
No, they
Oh
wrap
no, dear
things
heart.
in web and eat them slowly over
And
time.
usually involves liquefying the bodies.
Yes.
So you probably didn't end up in her kitchen.
No.
That's
Probably just in the
It's
parlor.
probably for the best. Do not go into a spider's kitchen.
Alright then.
So just
A
be careful.
show with aspirations and plenty.
Show with everything,
Show
but you will run.
a show with a show with a theme of wondrous distraction. A gilded cage.
Chess.
A
At first I thought generosity, but then that might imply that we have to be the ones who are generous.
we can be generous with plenty of things. We can be generous with attention. We can be generous with penny candy.
Freedom.
And there's also a concept in an older land that I've traveled through called a nice fight, in which where 2 individuals exchange gifts of greater and greater sentimentality or extravagance to the point where one simply can no longer meet the ask. There are some that have made themselves completely bankrupt and nearly gotten themselves killed to do so.
Presenting it as this is the folly or this is what we want to happen. I could see it going either way.
I could. Understanding that, 'cause 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 understand trying to take too much
That
could
would
have
mean that we were bringing a
consequences.
circus to a nice fight. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I think an understanding of the folly of trying to take too much, however we do it, is needed here
Hmm.
to prevent
A
the coming
celebration of
hunger.
gluttony.
Mm,
And freedom. Gluttony is part of freedom, yes? Wouldn't it be?
Gluttony is an
I
excess.
never thought of it that way.
lack
It's
of
an excess of
gluttony
hunger.
is freedom. Freedom to take what you need and stop when you want.
I mean, either can be freedom, I imagine.
Depends on how one sees the freedom.
I
We
was
could
just thinking if
do
people are stuck here.
a cage of vice.
When I looked for what was coming, I did not see a lack of freedom. I saw a hunger for more gifts than were given.
Are we hoping to appease that or
I was
or
thinking it
You
might
could
be
show-
nice to prevent the town from suffering from that coming.
Or at least warn them of the danger so they can protect
Mhm.
themselves.
Yes.
We could tell the story of a child who eats too much at a dessert buffet and becomes sick.
Little orange men in rhyme.
We can tell
A
the
little bit.
story of a tree that gives too much.
I think I read that.
It's a good story.
Yes, so what do we I guess that's the thing of it. What do we want to communicate to either the town or to the mayor or both?
The dangers of too much. For too much will never be enough. A tragedy in 3 acts.
The story of
They would
how
explode.
having is not so pleasant a thing as wanting.
Oh,
Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it.
Yes.
I like both of them.
yes, yes.
Dangerous wishes.
Hmm.
I mean, we are of the Fae.
All wishes are
When we
dangerous.
travel to the mortal realm to perform, sometimes they ask for things and then they get them. And then they realize, hey, maybe wasn't exactly what I wanted in the first place. Goodness knows I've done that more than a few times, probably more than my share.
If you get too much of the having, then the having doesn't seem appealing anymore. You need to have the wanting to have the having matter.
Yes, and yes.
Besides, if you have all of it, you'll just explode. Too much. That would be messy. I don't want the mayor to explode.
Alright, well, we have a theme. How best to execute?
Let's think
First,
about
she goes and curls up at whatever the source of the music is. I think it is Emerald Ash, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
What is
there's
it?
there's plenty to curl up into.
Yep.
What was the music?
Sing.
A song about wanting more.
You have a very nice voice.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to recall the song, and it's been a while. But I think I could probably go through my notes and find it before the show tonight.
You're joining the show tonight.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're joining the show tonight. You'll come on stage.
Well, if you like, I could.
I would love nothing more. It's been it's been an age since we were graced with your beautiful voice.
Well, if I find it, I'll come to you and show it to you ahead of time to see how we feel. Okay?
Honestly.
So, if I can sort of pull this together, if I understand it, having reflected on both the mayor's activity and the threats of hunger that threatens to devastate rather than entice, the themes of the show that you're exploring might be having is not so good a thing as wanting. The perils of excess, and the lesson of generosity as expressed through a niceness duel.
Perhaps. If we were trying to run with that idea, absolutely.
I'm,
I was
I'm,
just
I'm
throwing
asking.
it out there as a thought.
Sure,
If you combine all three of those things, one of the things that you have possibly on a narrative level is that the person who gives nearly dies because they can't handle the giving that much, and the person who receives nearly dies because they can't handle the taking of that much.
I thought you were going to say when you put it all together, you get Minnesota. But, you
No.
know.
No, this is much more cogent.
And
or chicken.
Well, you know.
Yeah, it turns into like the no-win scenario of going too big.
Well, that doesn't
Mhm.
sound like a circus. That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, no, because you need to have that enticement, because if all of you have is the giving, then you don't have the wanting. You need the wanting to be as big as the giving.
Mhm.
And that's why that
Besides,
part is necessary.
isn't the whole point of a performance leaving them wanting more?
That is true.
We would like to come back, probably, assuming it's safe.
Wait, leaving them wanting more, wanting them coming back. That sounds like a good place to drop the curtain.
Oh no, it's a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Yes. This is
We're
part
good at
one
that.
of two. This is part one of two, my friends. We look forward to seeing you next week at the same time for the conclusion to our Under Hollow Hills story. Before we go, we should thank the people who have helped put this together.
Yes.
I am always happy to be here on a stream. Our moderator is
Same
Ms.
bad
Mad
time, same
Duck.
bad channel next week. Yes.
Our moderator is Ms. Mad Duck.
Yes.
Our dice provider is Triple D Dice. As you may have seen in the chat, take a look at the Megay Baker versus Cancer bundle. If you can get a copy of the game, if you enjoyed this, please do. It helps her. It helps them. They're an independent game company. This is not put out by Hasbro. This is put out by a few people in Massachusetts, and we do try to support independent gaming where we can.
Yes.
Renee, do you have anything that you would like to promote as one of the people who is most active in the scene?
I actually am a fiber art streamer. I do a lot of crafting. I actually do have a stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and where I will probably be finishing a project or I'm hoping that it will finish a project that I've been working on for the past year, which includes input from all of the lovely folks in my community. So, if you want to see the utter relief on my face as I bind off the final stitch, it's a good time to go. That is correct.
Spirit Chrysalis, do you have anything you would like to promote or plug?
No, I have my own channel, and I sometimes do video game streams stereotypically. Every once in a while I do other content, but if that is your bag, feel free to check it out. And there's also a YouTube channel where some of the old streams are. let me know if you want that.
Jilly, what's new in the theater world in Rochester? What are you working on these days?
Well, I'm stage managing a wonderfully brilliant and poignant show called What the Constitution Means to Me, which had a hit run on Broadway I think a couple years ago now. It's about women's issues, the Constitution, and just trying to hold yourself together. Also, if you're in the area, which is basically Western New York, we are the one and only Fringe Festival in Western New York from the 10th to the 21st of September. There's something like 800 shows going on in about 40 venues throughout the city.
Wow.
Nice.
Come get some theater.
And so far away.
I know. Yes, I would have. I mean, honestly, I would have you all over at my place, including the stream. They'll come over.
And Anna, tell us about what's new and coming up soon on this channel besides the next episode.
Well, obviously, the next episode is next Saturday, same time. Otherwise, I've been trying to do a couple of streams a week, but due to becoming somewhat recently unemployed, my schedule is kinda all over the place. So streams happen. I've been streaming spinning on my spinning wheel and reading the Iliad at the same time. So now that I am back from Worldcon, I will be picking that back up. Yeah, mostly been doing a little bit more of a crafting streams lately, but there's been a new release of Coral Island as well as Fields of Mystria, which is in early availability. So I will most likely be streaming both of those as well.
I've lost some hours to Field of Mystery already.
Right.
I'm planning it.
It is
Yep.
good
It's
stuff.
adorable.
Although,
if you haven't heard of it, it's
yeah. It's really good. It's I hesitate calling these games Stardew clones because Stardew was a Harvest Moon clone, but it's very similar except with an anime style visual
Yep.
and several quality of life improvements over the base Stardew, such that I don't.
Being able to jump is nice.
Being able to jump, being able to go in the water and dive, the water can not running out of liquid, being able to save my game and not fall prey to the just one more day, can't stop because must get to end of day to save thing, is pretty nice. The stores being open all the time is also fairly nice. So it's a very, very nice game. I've been spending some time on it. The thing that has been eating my brain has been Planet Crafter, because I managed to put something like 45 hours into it in 2 or 3 days. I went to bed at 7 a.m. Nothing wrong with that, right?
No.
It's an addictive.
I say that, but I've been role playing with people in Australia, so I don't think that that's not. Yeah.
That's how that works. But anyway,
Same.
so variety streams on this channel. Jason, how about you? What's new and coming with you?
At this time, this is the thing that I'm doing at this as far as the public facing stuff. I look forward to having more to announce in the coming year. This year the end of the year is full of personal responsibilities, family stuff, but I've enjoyed running for y'all. I continue to enjoy running for y'all, and I look forward to having more things to pitch and promote in 2025.
Sounds great. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to be the end of our stream, everybody. We're going to go offline, and we will see everybody next Saturday. Bye, folks.
No.
Bye.